Hello everyone, my name is Graham and today I will teach you about the Meiji Restoration. Now I can already hear you guys saying, "Hey Graham, what's the Meiji Restoration about?" Well, don't worry, we'll get to that soon and you'll learn so much about. In 1853, when an American captain named Matthew Perry landed in Japan, and he was like, "Okay, you guys need to allow us to trade with you or else we will destroy and kill you." But Japan, they were kind of like, "Hey, give us some time to decide on it because we're not sure if we want that." So Matthew said, "Okay, I will come back in 1 year, and if you guys said no, I'm going to kill you." So in 1854, Matthew went back and he was like, "Okay, what did you guys make?" And since, Japan, they didn't have like guns or anything like that. They just had a bunch of swords. They're like, "Sure, you know what? We'll allow it because we don't want to die and get destroyed by you, Matthew." So they opened up to other foreign countries, like France and America. Now, Japan wasn't, like any other normal country. Their government was run by families, and how the families would get power is, let's say, the Graham family went out and, started attacking everyone, and I was like, "Okay, you guys have to listen to me, I'm the leader now." And that's kind of how it was, the family. There wasn't like a Congress or anything like that, because it was so hard to keep in charge of everyone. It was kind of like, grandpa and grandma, and the dad. So the biggest daimyo that controlled the whole South Japan, they were the Satsuma. So it all started with Tokugawa Ieyasu, and they kind of just ruled Japan. So other people, like local lords and other kind of families, ruled regions. The Tokugawa was just kind of like, the big dog in charge. So during the time when the Westerners came in, there was a daimyo domain called the Koshu, and they were like, "Okay, you know what, we gotta kill all these people coming in." So they marched to the ports where they were. They just started killing a bunch of people, and the shogun Tokugawa, he was like, "Oh shoot, this is bad." So he started attacking the Koshu and killed them all, got rid of them, and the domain of Satsuma, they didn't like the other domain because they're fighting for land, but they were like, "Hey, these Koshus, they don't like the Westerners come in," so they formed a secret alliance called Satsuma and Koshu Alliance. There was an emperor at the time, and his name was Emperor Komi, and he was just a figurehead while Tokugawa was the shogunate. So he was the big guy, he was in charge of everything while the emperor didn't really have any power. But Emperor Komi, he's kind of like, "Why are all these people coming to our country to tell us what to do? I should tell me what to do, I shouldn't have all these Americans coming over." So he was saying like, "Hey guys, why are we doing this?" And Tokugawa was like, "Shut up, bro, you can't say that, you're the emperor, you don't have any power." Now, there were people in Japan also kind of like, fighting the battles and making sure things got taken care of, because the daimyo, they didn't want to do it, so they hired people like this. So you've probably heard of these people before. They're called a samurai, and if you went back in time, this is probably what they would look like. A lot of people think, "Oh, a samurai wears like cool dragon helmet," but they don't really do that. They kind of just, that's just a myth, made up for Hollywood. So, but they would have a head, they would have armor, because, you don't want to get shot or anything like that, so you protect yourself with armor. And one myth also, people believe that samurai were good people, they did good things, they were honorable, but that's not really how it was. They were kind of like gangs, West Side, they would kill people. So the daimyo, they had to pay them to stop, killing each other, and they also, they were like, "Okay, you know what, we're going to pay you, how about you go collect some taxes, fight a battle for us, we don't really, we don't want to do that ourselves," so they paid them to do that for them. So, the Tokugawa, they allowed, America to come in. So daimyos and the samurai didn't really like that. They were like, we don't like these Americans coming in our country and taking our crap from us, so let's kill them and kick them out. And the Tokugawa, they didn't like that. They were like, hey, you know what? We gotta become modern. We gotta get all the good stuff. And the powerful daimyo started attacking Tokugawa. When Tokugawa opened up the country, all the small people, all the landowners, the daimyo, they were like, hey, we don't really like this guy. We should kill him, get rid of him, because they've always been fighting with them to get in charge, but now gave them a cause because they were like, we don't like these Western people. So Tokugawa is now trading with America, and he's getting a lot of weapons. That's good for them because it's making them stronger than daimyos that are trying to gain power. And this is what a traditional Japanese rifle would look like. So it would fire, and it was very efficient. It gave Tokugawa and his army the upper hand in the Boshin War, but that still didn't stop them from winning because he was just kind of like not good enough. So during the time when Emperor Komi died, so did Tokugawa Ieyasu. So the new Tokugawa was Tokugawa Yoshinobu, and he was kind of taking place of the other guy. He's like, yeah, you know what? These Western guys aren't that bad. Come on, guys, let's keep them. So at this time, Satsuma and Koshu, their main goal was like, you know what? We gotta kill Tokugawa. And he was all scared. He was like, oh shoot, I don't want to die. So he was such a big wussy. He stepped down as shogun. So he went down. And Emperor Meiji, Komi's son, he was like in charge now. That's a big deal. He was like had a bunch of power now instead of being a little guy. And so the domains, the daimyo, they were like, hey dude, this is what we're doing. We're not doing anything bad. We just want to kill all the Western people. We want to kick them out. And Meiji, he's only 14. He was only 14 years old. Imagine like me. Well, I'm not 14, but imagine me, being an emperor. That'd be pretty cool. So, he was easily influenced and like, okay, you know what? I'm okay with the daimyo. I'm going to listen to them. But, Tokugawa, even though he didn't have a lot of power, he was still kind of like a big guy. So he's like, you know what? I'm not going to be a wuss anymore, and I'm gonna get rid of these domains telling me what to do. So the Boshin War first started in 1868 when the Satsuma and Chochin people started attacking the Tokugawa, and Tokugawa lost big time because he was really no match for two dynamos plus the empire. So the empire and the Satsuma, they were provided by Britain. So Britain gave them a bunch of guns, to make themselves strong, while Tokugawa, he was fueled by France, because France and Britain, they don't like each other, so they're just gonna pick the other side. But while France was trying to get Tokugawa a bunch of supplies to crush the empire, he couldn't do that. They didn't have enough time to do that because what did he know? Satsuma was marching his way up to kill everyone, so that's what happened. So Emperor Meiji at this time, he was just a little kid, but he's gained a lot of people. All these dynamos are like, whoa, this guy, feels us, he's not like Tokugawa where he just uses us, don't care about us. So, people are joining. So here's Japan. So imagine, so this is how it was. Imagine that is Meiji area. That's Satsuma area. And all the top, all up here is Tokugawa area. Well, alliances started forming, with other dynamos. So it became like up here. All these people down here, like Meiji, so they started joining with them, during to attack, Tokugawa. Satsuma pushed their way all the way up to Edo, also known as Tokyo now, and formed the new capital, the Meiji Empire, there. Once Meiji took over, he ruled all of the main island of Japan and the bottom southern part. So this was it, the north part of Japan, that island up top. That's where, Tokugawa and his people kind of like lived. That's it. That was nothing. In 1869, they called themselves the Republic of Azo, but they were like defeated extremely quickly because they were pathetic and they didn't have anything. So yeah. Meiji, he's like a little kid. He's at this time, after the Boshin War, he's 16. He set up a cabinet, and they were like other people from dynamos. They all came together, kind of like a governor, from each state. They were kind of in charge from the other dynamos because they're all unified now. So the people they were making all the decisions, and Meiji he has more power. No more shogun, they're gone. Tokugawa, he's gone. All those people, they're done. So he didn't have a lot of power because he was a kid though. So the cabinet made all the decisions. During the unification, the Meiji Empire started focusing on education and making more crap, silk and all that. So with the Meiji Empire created, they started focusing on education, public welfare, and creating a better society, unification stuff throughout Japan, because now it's all like one person. It's just the empire now. I hope you guys learned a lot from this, and I hope now whenever someone says, "Hey, what was the Meiji Restoration?" you can be like, "Oh, I know all about it. Sit down, I'll tell you about it." So, thank you.